This pattern is called Entwine, and I have to say that I did have an idea in mind. Usually I don't have any idea in mind when I start. Just put the parts together and they kind of take on their own shape and their own design and pattern. But in this case, I was thinking about branches. I did something new with this design that I've never done before. I used different thicknesses of tiles and different sizes of tiles. It's a tiling concept. I refer to the individual tiles as parts, but it's a tiling concept. This design is called Flora, and it's because the shapes kind of reminded me of stems and blossoms and things that were kind of like new flowers and kind of dying images. And again, with this one, it was not planned ahead. It was just, I picked out parts and I liked the way these two looked together. And then I added this one. I liked the way they looked together, and it kind of just evolved from there. This design is kind of like a reindeer, and this is from another exhibit, and I replicated it for this exhibit. It was originally designed by Kevin McCoy at Artifacts Gallery in Detroit. A lot of people kind of added to it in the gallery there, and here it's just put out as a set kind of design, and it hasn't been changed during the exhibit. This pattern is a mandala concept that was something new that I did just recently in the gallery here with a group of people. And it was a concept that I have never done before, and it's a concept that I really enjoy and hope to repeat. This started out with a centerpiece with just the yellow and red square in the center of a table. And then participants came in and added all the parts gradually, one row at a time, around the perimeter of it, so that it went out and extends into different color areas. And it has that mandala concept of breathing in and breathing out, of focusing in and focusing out. This pattern is called a meander pattern, and that's because it wanders and it doesn't build a big solid area, but it kind of meanders across a space. And this pattern happened on the night of the opening of this exhibit. The participants were the people that came to the opening, and before they built this pattern, these parts were arranged four together in quartets across this whole wall. And during the participation time, the people who were in the gallery came up and took pieces off the wall and picked them up and put them different places until they made this pattern. For example, this can just be taken down like this, and then a person can, rearrange this someplace else. And that's what they did to build this design. And there's it stays like this. But this was done prior to the show to be a part of the show that would give some three-dimensional element in it. So they weren't all against the wall. And about 7 or 8 friends came in and they sat around these pedestals and built these patterns. Karen Thomas built this design. She and a friend sat in the window one Saturday and built this design along the ledge, and then they built this here and built this up here and around here, and then she brought it around the corners. This is just a piece of metal, and all these parts have magnets on the back of them. So different people have come up and built designs right on the board, and when the board gets completely covered, I take them down and put them on the cart, and then other people can come and make new ones. And people of all ages have done this. This little guy, only 4 years old, and he came in and he worked for almost a half an hour and built a design. And the people that are at the table right now are building what are called conversations with the parts. And that's where people select a couple of parts and then they think about what the parts might say if they could talk. And Charlotte and Pietro Di Giorgio did a whole line of those that are part of the exhibit. Let's see which one is safe to read. Some of these are a little raunchy because I have raunchy friends and I love them. This one's pretty simple. This one says, "Hey there, your dunce hat is cockeyed." And this part is talking to this part. And this part says back to this part, "Thanks a lot. I want to look like I'm with it." So that's what they're doing here today.